Thank you, everybody, for joining the Here If You Need Me podcast. Thank you for everybody who tuned in to episodes 1 through 5. And everybody who's been, tuning into the channel, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. I highly appreciate you. And thanks for sticking around with me. We growing. This whole page is about growing, developing, and I'm just, came out and trying something new on the limb. And it's been going well. Thanks to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the views. We upward towards 10,000 now. We have about 7.9 the last time I checked. So I appreciate y'all, man. Without me having no social media and stuff like that, I depend on word of mouth. I depend on y'all just, and I depend on God. So I appreciate y'all. So for episode 6, got a very special guest with me, Ms.Deja Abrams. Deja is the owner of Royalty Nail Spa and Lounge. And I just want to get right into it, man, because I'm excited to have her. I'm so proud of her. I've known her, just a little background on our relationship. I've known her for, what's it been, 7 years now? Almost
Yep,
8.
7. It'll be 7 this year.
7 years. So, and she always been real ambitious, always been a grinder, always had a vision, always been working. That was something I always, this is really no cap. I would always see her, and, we went to the same college. Both graduated from Baldwin Wallace University. So, I would see her all the time, and she's just always working, always grinding. So, to see her where she is right now is no surprise, and, I'm just excited to see where she go. But I'm glad that she gave me the opportunity to sit down and have her on the podcast with us today. So, without further ado, Ms.Deja Abrams.
Yes.
So, just to get into it a little bit about your background, can you tell us a little bit about your background? Like, when did you start doing nails?
Okay. So this goes back some years ago. I actually started doing nails at the age of 14, so that was about 12 years ago in my mom's basement. I had the passion of doing nails because I just like the artistry of nails and just being able to enhance somebody in that type of way. And my mom was really strict, actually, so we weren't able to wear nails and stuff for a long time. But she finally let me get some acrylic nails to go to prom, and from that, it was a wrap.
Okay, that's what's up. So, beginning into it, so take us down the pipeline of you going into getting, your license and stuff like that.
Okay, so I actually was full-time at Baldwin Wallace.
Okay.
And taking classes. Oh my goodness, it was overwhelming. But I wanted to go to nail school really bad, and I wanted to be a professional and really have my backing behind it. So I went to Baldwin Wallace during the day, and I went to nail school at night from 5 to 9, and I did that for 3 months. And I finally got licensed in 2016.
How was that experience for you? Balancing, because it's good that we both been there in school, so I understand. Of course, depending on your major, they don't tell you that. Depending on your major, the shit gonna vary about the difficulty. You know what I'm saying? But just talk a little bit about the balance. How hard was it to have that balance or maintain that balance?
Okay, so something about me, like a little nugget, I guess. I like to have a packed schedule. I don't like to have too much free time. I feel like I have some free time when I'm 35 and I'm kicking it on the beach every day, every month. So I like a packed schedule. So granted, it is really hard. I don't know. I just feel like I when I got a vision, my mind is set on it. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get there.
For sure. So for somebody who's juggling, and do you remember how you did it? Do you remember a strategy that you had? Did you use planners? Or was it just straight you just wake up every day and know what you got to do and get to it?
Surprisingly, with me having so much success in life, I don't want to say I'm not an organized person. I just, if it's in my mind, I don't have to have it on pen and paper. A lot of people need a scheduler or something or somebody to help them with their schedule. I don't really need that. I'm kind of if it's important to me, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna make sure it happen. And just a little nugget to think about when juggling multiple things at a time is, I'm trying to think. I didn't kick it. Really didn't kick it when I was in college. Yeah. I was born. Right. I worked 2 jobs. I went to school, 2 schools. So I was doing a lot. So I would say that, say to kick it for when you out of town in Miami or going across the country. I went to Dubai last year, stuff like that. So
that's what's up.
I really saved my fun for them type of trips.
Okay, and how was Dubai?
Dubai was
Side
amazing.
note.
Dubai was amazing.
That's what's up.
It was a vibe for sure.
That's what's up. So, to go back, because I like to be informative on it. So we know you went to Baldwin Wallace University.
Hmm.
Where did you go for nails school?
Interstate Beauty School,
Oh,
and that's actually where I'm going now to get um my COS license as well because I went back to school, y'all. I'm always trying to do something more, so I'm about to be doing hair, waxing, all that soon.
okay. And before we get to that, so the tuition, what are the prices like for somebody who's looking to go to school, for somebody who was looking, to take their career to a further level and boss up on some professional shit.
Hmm.
Tuition. Is there any books that you needed to pay for, or like, mannequins, like just pricing? Was it expensive, or could you give us a range of numbers for like the tuition?
Yeah, so when I went back to school, it was a little bit cheaper, but since I'm in school now, I kind of know, so I'll give you the price range on that now.
Mm-hmm.
Nail school alone, because it is separate programs. The manicuring program is only 200 hours, and that's just for nails, for you to only be doing nails. That
Okay.
is around 2,500 in and
Okay.
out the door with everything. That's everything included: tuition, books, kit,
Yeah.
everything.
So that's not bad.
I mean, it's not bad, but think, I had to pay for Baldwin
Well,
Wallace, pay for school at
that's a
the same
different.
time.
Yeah, for your situation, that was different. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm looking at it as a grown person perspective. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You save money if you're grown looking to get into it. Just save some money.
Yeah, you got that. It's tax season.
Yeah, for sure. Or saving 300 here, 400 there,
Yep.
whatever you
And
gonna do.
they do payment plans, so don't feel overwhelmed. Like I gotta pay 2,500 up front. I got rent, this kids. No, it's definitely a payment plan. You gotta pay like 400 down, 100 on your first day, and then like they put you on a payment plan 130 every 2 weeks or something. So, and then for the COS program, it's like 15,000 though. 15,000.
Okay.
But that's just for my school that I'm going to. Like Paul Mitchell type schools, that's like upwards of 20,000. So it's definitely a difference depending on
Okay.
where you go.
Okay. So let's talk about the passion. Um, when did you and y'all heard that's 15,000? Y'all got to figure that part out too. But the 2,000, you want to just do the, you know what I'm saying? So that's a jump for y'all, and so the passion. Where did the passion spark? Like I know you said you started when you were 14, 13.
Mm-hmm.
What sparked the passion though? Like,
Me just like I don't know. Like I felt like first of all when I was in high school and I got my nails done for the first time, I used to play basketball. So
mm-hmm,
my nails was like stubby. I never wore nails. I just seen all my friends doing it and I wanted to do it. So
mm-hmm,
when I finally got the opportunity to go ahead and my mom let me, I was like, oh, I'm a baddie. Like it was
mm-hmm.
so fun and nice to just have nails on. They were short, of course, but it was still like a vibe. And to be honest, that lady was not doing my nails good for real at all. But it was just the principle, like me having nails. And
Right.
I'm like, oh, I want to do this. I want to see what I can create. And
Okay. So can you remember where you were and who you started on when it was not you? Like the first person you did they nails. Like on some, let me try.
I feel like it was myself, but
Okay.
you know what? I'm gonna take this back a little bit. It really started because my older sister. I got two older sisters, and they used to. When I say used to be the coldest nail techs back in the day, they used to
Yeah.
have Skittles on their nails, hot flaming chip
Oh,
bags
all
on their
type of
nails.
shit.
Like that's what I want to bring back. Like I
Yeah.
them the vibes that I like, but
Right.
I know people kind of don't want that type of stuff.
More show RC type.
Yes,
Of,
like
for sure.
imagine lighting a hot Cheetos bag on fire and then putting it in your nail. Cold.
Mm.
Cold.
So let's talk about that. Like, do you think about taking it to showcase level? You know what I'm saying? Like your nail, or is it just more so just the business right now for you, and just maintaining and continuing to establish your company, or do you have those side dreams of maybe because I used to see on the little when I be browsing through or whatever, they had a hair contest and a
Hair
nail
shows.
yeah, and a nail on TV and stuff like that.
You know what? I've never really been like a fan of that. I mean, I am, but not for me to have to put in all that energy and time into it. I think I'm more of a team type of person because I actually have 4 other employees in the salon working with me right now. So I'm more of if I leave them, are they gonna be okay? And more like a coddler. Like I'm
Right.
already a mom, so it's like I don't know. I don't want to say I could be acting like a mom to them, but I just want to make sure they good and the
But
people
that's
that's on my
important.
team.
That's important. I want you to speak to that, like leadership. Anytime that you running the company, heading the business, is very important because depending on how your employees or your teammates taking to you, that could make the difference inside of like the what I want to say, the camaraderie of the company and the camaraderie of the business, and so speak to that, like how has that been for you stepping into that role as a leader? Like, I mean, what position did you play in high school? Let's go back to that.
On the basketball team,
Yeah.
I was a point guard for
Okay,
sure.
so all right,
For
so
sure.
you understand. So I already know, like, as me being a point guard, I understand, you know, leadership, right?
I gotta work the floor
in a
for
sense,
sure.
exactly. So let's talk about that a little bit. What type of style do you find yourself using, or was it hard coming in at the beginning, like, damn, or not to bring like people into it that you work with, but just a little bit about it if you can speak on it, just.
Whew, Lord. Oh my gosh! If I told you all the nightmares, the stories that I had to endure my first 2 years in business, oh my gosh, y'all wouldn't even believe it because it's so
give us
sick.
one. Give us one before you continue, because people love a story. They love
People
an
love a
episode.
story.
You know what I'm saying? So,
People love it. Okay, let me see. Okay, so
like
this
the
juicy.
craziest thing
This
that you've seen, or the
juicy.
wildest shit that you've seen. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you all a juicy one. So I'm not gonna say no names, no positions. I'm gonna just kind of give you all a
Yeah.
ballpark of the story.
Okay.
Cause it ain't no beef. I ain't no beef type of person, and I don't want it to go there. So
And we doing more wet today, y'all, for Deja. You know what I'm saying?
Very classy.
Y'all know we
It's a
doing it.
vibe.
Yeah, we doing the classy thing. You know what I'm saying? Can you hand me that bottle right there? And for those who looking up, Puff, I got you, Puff. It's just a pipe. But I was on this for my mama's birthday, Puff. If you see this, bruh, send me some bottles, though. You know we about to turn up. You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
you're welcome.
But yeah, let's continue.
Okay, so y'all, to be honest, I'm not a negative person. So when negative stuff happen, I put it like so far in the back of my mind, like I don't even want to remember it. So I might be missing bits and pieces, but try to give y'all the little rundown. Long story short, I had this person working with me or working for me. When they came in, everybody puts on this persona like I'm so classy, I'm so undramatified, I don't have no drama going on, this and that. But
They love to act like
they
ain't got
love
no
to
drama,
act like
don't they?
it. I swear the switch up be so crazy. Don't even get past their 90 days though. It'd be sick. But so yes, I had this girl working for me and she never paid the rent. Her dude always paid her booth rent for her. Cool, fine. I don't care how y'all paid as long as I get paid. And I have a late policy, so booth rent was due. I can't think specifically, but I think it was Friday at 2 or 3 p.m. Booth rent was due, and I did it like that because I used to work for a lady, and I'm not gonna lie, I used to always forget to pay her booth rent on the day, but I knew the day was there, but it'd be like 11:50, and she'd be like, "Hey, you forgot to send booth rent on Saturday," and I'm like, "Oh shoot!" So I'm like, I just feel like being a boss, we have timestamps. Like most of the time, most people's rent due is on the first, so I wanted to make sure I had that like same type of plan in my salon. So she didn't pay booth rent one day on time, but she always on time. So she had bought something from me because I also have a boutique in my salon. So she bought something. I think it was some eyelashes for me for her client to wear.
That's dope.
Yeah, yeah.
We gonna get to that. Hold on, let me write that down as a question to get back to.
Yep, mommy and me clothes. We'll come back to that. But
Okay.
she bought something for me, so I'm like, hey, when you send me the $15, don't forget to include your rent. Just like a side note, letting her know. She didn't have a client at that time. It was just her. And then I had a client, but it was like family, my cousin.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like me saying that in front of my cousin and her was a problem. Send it when you send booth rent. So that was that. So she sent it like later on that night. I wasn't really tripping because it was late anyways. Or yeah. So I had sent her a message just because I'm not an after the fact type of person. Like I hate when people bring up stuff after the fact. So basically I had let her know like, hey, just to let you know, you did submit booth rent late this week. Moving forward, it's going to be a late fee. I got to stick to the policy. You signed a contract. That's what it said in the contract.
Okay.
She texted me a paragraph basically talking about, I feel like you weren't empathetic to the situation. You were talking about my personal business in front of a client. I just feel like that was so unprofessional. I'm never late on rent, so you should have just understood that something came up. Like, maybe I forgot. Ma'am, get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to listen to that. Because I just feel like it should have been like, okay, I won't forget moving forward. Like, it don't have to be that messy. So, long story short, that was that. It was coming to where she was like, I don't know, she was just acting real bougie, like. So, and I had actually was doing her nails and stuff, and I don't know, whatever. I had told her, basically, like, I think it wasn't gonna work out. Well, she actually told me that, I think. I can't remember, y'all. But long story short, after all this blew over, I had scheduled a makeup appointment with her, and she basically wasn't gonna show up for my makeup appointment. But I told her that she couldn't get her supplies out of my salon until she paid me her last booth rent. But that's the policy. That's like code in the hair salon industry.
Yeah, I don't know that.
That's like a regular place. You ain't pay your rent, you can't get in here. We changing the locks. So what happened was, and I didn't know what type of time she was on. She was gonna bust my windows. I mean, yeah, I got insurance, but I ain't trying to make a claim for 7 bands. Like, make it make sense, Yeah. So long story short, I actually did have somebody come change the locks though, for sure. So she can't get in. Yeah, because it was a key. You can get in with a key. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going keypad. I switched the locks on her. When I tell you, I didn't even let the girl do my makeup. I told her to send my deposit back. She like, no. Would you send your deposit back to a client? I said, girl, I'm not even gonna argue with you. You can keep the little $25. When I tell y'all, I let this girl come back into my salon when she didn't even pay booth rent. But what it said in the contract is, if you don't pay booth rent, I'll either take your last paycheck, but she was on booth rent, so I wasn't paying her, or I'm going to charge the card that's on file. Y'all know what I did?
What did you do?
Charge the card on file. Okay. Period. When I say she sent me a long message like, you broke hoe, I can't believe you. You act like you got money, but you don't. Why would you take $150 out my man account? This and that. And I'm like, she was like, I wipe my ass with $150. Well, if you wipe your ass with it, why you still texting me? So, y'all, it was just so trashy. She literally went online on Instagram and was blowing down like, don't work at her shop, don't do this. She had posted like little silly stuff. She was posting like our conversation and stuff, but when I say I didn't even entertain her, like, they was so mad, like, dang, you ain't gonna say nothing. I'm like, she was so mad for no reason, and I don't entertain BS, so it was just that. Keep it classy.
And that's good. Yeah, I'm glad that you handled the situation like that, because at the end of the day, that it don't be worth it. And then you trying to run a company, and at the end of the day, you a face of your company. For sure. It's like, you want to carry yourself in a manner where people feel comfortable coming to your establishment. It ain't even about I want to look squeaky clean, or I want to, but when people see something like that, they don't even want to see what your spot look like. Right. Because they seen how you act on social media. You know what I'm saying? And you can have a wonderful establishment. It could be ran completely the opposite of what you know what I'm saying? So it's good that you handled it that way. And one thing I want to speak about is the character. You know what I'm saying? You said something. You said, say that for somebody else who want to hear it. And when I heard that, accountability clicked in my mind. The word accountability automatically just boom. And it's like, because that was just a yo response to that. And her thing was, she felt like you weren't empathetic to the situation. And people are entitled to feel how they feel. Yeah. But then you feel like you should save that, and it sounds like you don't like to hear excuses. It sounds like excuses bother you the way that you. So like speak a little bit to that, like accountability and how big that is for you. And do you think that sometimes could you be a little brash in your approach to others who may not take accountability, or do people just need to hear, outright? What's your approach towards that?
Well, first I'm gonna say I'm a Taurus, so I'm a bull. I'm stubborn.
Okay.
I don't be in the signs that much, but I do feel like some signs do have some characteristics that do flow with everybody. So, with that being said, I feel like people sugarcoat stuff a lot and coddle people, and not to say I'm not your mom or I'm not your best friend or I'm not your friend. I'm your boss, and I want to act accordingly. So I feel like, yes, there should be situations where I show empathy, but me showing empathy to what? I really couldn't fathom in my mind what I was not showing empathy for in that situation. And to be honest, I feel like this part of me, part of womanhood that I've grown into lately with the accountability, stemmed from me working at a life insurance company. I worked at a life insurance company straight out of Baldwin Wallace before I got back into the nail industry. And when I say the training that I got was top tier, if I don't remember and appreciate nothing else from that job, because I used to work like a dog. Like when I say I used to be at work at 8 a.m. and work until midnight every single day on Sundays too. When I say that literally set me up to be able to work and do multiple jobs and be a mom and try to have a social life and try to date.
So it was prerequisites to the hustle. It's prerequisites to the hustle.
No, I feel like I always for sure had it, but I feel like moments in my life kind of upped it a notch. And
Turned
I feel
it
like,
up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up, and that was one of those things.
Yeah, and I feel like some people that come and work in my shop, for example, or just in the industry period, don't have a kid, for example. Having a kid is very hard, and being a single mom or having to do it alone or not have as much help as you thought you would have is hard for sure. And I feel like, how can I allow you to make excuses and I'm not making excuses and I have a kid to look after?
Right.
You know?
And that's understandable. So it's the perception thing, and it kicks into that. Like, this is how I see things from my world because this is what I've experienced in my world.
Exactly. And it's like you got somebody paying your rent for you. I got to come up with it every month. Make sure it's cleared and full. 2 rents.
So you gotta, and I go back to what I would call him my virtual mentor, what Dame said, Dame Dash, shout out to Dame Dash. He would say, that's what you would call having to hunt the food that you eat, having to kill the food that you eat, as opposed to having the food that you eat prepared for you.
I like that.
And that's just that dog mentality and that hustle mentality. Can I ask you a little bit where that can you recall where that kicked in for you, just that accountability level? Were you always like a child who, could your mama be the one to get Deja the keys, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
to be honest, I can't pinpoint a specific time, but what I do remember for sure is I used to be a pushover when I was a kid. Everybody used to get over on me. It used to be, Deja, do this. Okay, yes, I'll do it. I got out of that. Like, no, I was tired of, and you know what? I think I do kind of remember. I think it was when I really started seriously dating, like back in high school, and like my first love. I think he did it. That'll do it. I feel like after that situation, and I got cheated on and played, and around that time, I was just like, you know what? No more of this. Like, I'm standing up for myself. I feel like when I say what I mean and mean what I say, that's me standing up for myself. So I feel like that's the type of wave I'm on.
Okay, so it was more so like this and I can see how that can help you, because there's times in this moments where you got to push through.
Yeah,
it's not always easy. Let's talk about that. Like, the journey up into owning your salon. So we talked about the journey up into you being a licensed nail technician, your journey through college, your journey through, and then and then you a child, right? You speak about, and how old is she now?
She's 5.
She's 5 years old. So around this time you going through this, she's in this with you. So she's going through this with you.
For sure.
She's seeing from the womb an example of strength, an example of that mentality. But let's just go back and let's talk about damn, I can't believe I just forgot what I was, and that's why that's why I started writing stuff down. But to go back to the mentality, I know it was moments, and I'm good, y'all. I got back to it. I know it was moments where you had to push through. You know what I'm saying? So let's speak about those moments leading up into the salon. Like, some people, I always say this to anybody. Like last time, and I think I'm gonna make this a revolving question. When people go to save for a goal, or just save just to save, a lot of people talk about 10%. If you read The Richest Man in Babylon, he say, a part of all you earn is yours to keep. A man who is able to save at least 10% of what he earns is worthy of more. So, what was your starting point of saving? Like when you started, I want to do this. I want to get my own thing going. I want to. So, as you're in stack mode, what percentage of your earnings are you stacking in order to flip that?
To be honest, guys, I'm not a big saver. And that might come surprising, like, how do you got all this and you doing all this? But one thing, I'm going to round this question off because I do a lot too. I'm an STNA, been an STNA for over a year now.
Okay.
I own my own nail salon.
Okay.
I do taxes. I got my PTN, like I'm licensed to do that. I'm also a licensed nail instructor to actually teach or go to a school and teach. And the list goes on. I have my own boutique, Mommy and Me Daughter Boutique, Cocoa Effect Boutique. So it's just like me just being a well-rounded person. I feel like I'm just a hustler at heart. Like, I don't know if y'all watch BMF. I feel like Big Meech for sure. Big Meech for sure.
I think I'm Big Meech.
For sure. But yeah, I feel like, look, now I kind of forgot the question, but no. I don't really. I don't save a certain percentage. Let me put it like that. Okay. It's like I want to go on a vacation, so I'm going to say this, or I need to do this many clients to this. I'm a numbers person. So if my goal is to make $8,000 a month, I'm going to break it down. How many clients do I need to do at $65 a pedicure, $65 a full set to reach my goal? So
you more so amplify the hustle in order to make that up as opposed to saving where you need it
for sure
right now.
Yeah, and I'm a get up and do it type of person. Like I wasn't even supposed to work today. I left school early at 3, went to go do a client, quick $120, and she bought an outfit from the boutique.
Right.
Call it win-win.
Right? Why not?
And that's every day. Think about making an extra $120 a day. That's almost $800 a week. What can you do with $800 a week?
Right. Extra? Exactly. That's clutch. And to think about that. So you do. As I'm speaking to you, I'm understanding now, like, to a lot of people out in the world, your mentality is unconventional because first you say, earlier when we first started, you say, that you don't write stuff down. And most people was big on write it down if you believe it, manifesting, and I can attest to, I agree with you on that. And I used to think that I was wild because, and I still don't write. I'll write notes and stuff like that for like, but you see, I'm doing this right now.
Yeah, on the fly.
On the spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing I really write is rhymes. And then I write, my philosophies. Like, I damn near been writing a book, low-key, but I don't know what the hell is going on with that, for real. But, but that's unconventional. Some people might say that you're a disorganized person or that you can't achieve it if you don't. But I've seen myself not, right, just keep it in my mind. And constantly tell myself that every day, just like they say, read it on the paper. You got to read it. But it's like I see it. I read it in my head. It's like a script. Yeah. It's a revolving. It's like it don't never go nowhere. So I understand you on that. You know what I'm saying? And then you say that you're not even a big saver. So obviously, can you talk about that? Your opinion on those things, like how because one might make you feel like you don't really want what you want because you don't write or whatever. And it ain't even a question. It's just like, it's more so like, what's your idea on that? Like, because I don't think that's fair. Because I know what I achieve, and I'm not somebody who, I got a whiteboard, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I wrote on it the one time. But I achieved everything that I wrote on there.
Yeah.
That one time, and I'm gonna continue to achieve more. But I'm like, damn, do we really gotta be this way?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, but a lot of stuff do be making sense. You know what I'm saying? But that part.
Yeah. I'll say that there has been moments that I have written stuff down. I'll give you guys a good example. 2 years ago, I don't want to say it was the person that I was dating at this time that kind of made me do it. Maybe it was in that moment. And I felt like I just had a point in my life where I was like, what do Deja want? Like, I'm just here. And I feel like that was a time where I definitely had to write some stuff down. I was trying to build my relationship with God even more, trying to get closer to him. And I wrote down in my notes a list of what Deja wants physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, what I want in a husband, and what I want from my salon. And it's crazy because just this year I updated it. So it's been 3 years almost that I've updated that list.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big, I got to write it down every day, every month, every even couple of months. I make a plan and I'm going to follow through.
Right.
And
Stick
I feel
to the
like
script.
some people aren't like that. Like they have to write it on a piece of paper and do it every day. Like I said, I'm the type of person that if I'm serious about it, I'm going to make sure
You're
it
not gonna
happens.
forget.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
And if
forget.
I forget, it's going to be something little. Oh, I forgot I don't even know a good example because I don't forget much.
Right.
But Big Meech. But no, okay, let me back up because to be honest, one of my goals this year is to save more money because I feel like anything
we
can
gotta.
happen.
I'm not saying that.
And I'm not
we
saying I
gotta
don't save
save.
no money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not like, oh, I'm gonna put 20% towards my savings.
I'm like a 60% nigga.
Yeah, that's
I would
what I'm
save
saying.
60%
For sure,
of
yeah.
like they said 10. He told me 10%. I start saving 10%. And like habits is so.
Yeah.
I love habits. Like
love it too.
like if you work them for you, reverse them, man, that shit's amazing. So it's like that 10% was like, man, I'm about to put 60 up. I'm about to put, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think one thing that works for me without saving is I'm very disciplined. Like I don't eat out a lot. I'm a cook. I'm a wife. Period. I'm a boss. I'm a cook at home. Like, I'm very disciplined. Like I have a schedule, but it's in my head. Like I know that I gotta get up at 6:45, 7 in the morning. Get me and my daughter dressed for school. She got to be at school by 8:30. I got to be at school at 9. I go to school from 9 to 4. I got clients from 4:30 to 7:30. I do that 4 days a week. The other 2 days that I don't take clients from 4:30 to 7:30, I'm at the gym. On Saturdays, I go to school from 8 to 12:30. I be at the salon by 1 to 6. On Sundays, I work 11 to 5. And I'm just like a scheduled person. So I don't want to say like I'm a disorganized person because I'll be a hell of a disorganized person as successful as I am. But yeah, I mean, I got a whole degree. I got multiple accolades. Like, I don't know. I just feel like you either got it or you don't, to be honest, for sure. Okay. And I feel like sometimes you can't teach that.
Oftentimes, honestly, I would agree that oftentimes you can't teach it. Oftentimes, but sometimes you can't. Oftentimes, though, you know, because there's a lot that I learned. You know, I wasn't always a certain way. I wasn't always a saver.
Yeah.
I couldn't save shit, which would kept me in predicaments that I was in. But it's all about reversing habits and the will.
Yeah.
A lot of this is about will, and I think that's what you're speaking to. You know, it's like you come up like speaking to you is no, because I love the energy. That's first of all. But you would come off like a Dame or a Ye in your approach of just, you know what I'm saying?
Like a who?
A Dame or a Ye or some,
oh,
you know,
okay,
that just
yeah,
that
I do.
That brash approach, you know what I'm saying? But it's your heart is gold. And under that, people on the outside in the service may not see that all the time, but you fighting for something.
I am.
And let's talk about who you fighting for. Who you fighting for and what you fighting for. Let's talk about it.
I feel like, first and foremost, my daughter. Like, she's such an inspiration. Like, ooh, I want to be teared up. This is crazy. I'm really a mom. But, she's so inspiring. Like, she'll be trying to do my nails. And I ain't talking about no little polish. She be, like, literally doing my acrylic nails.
Right.
At 5. 5? Like, I don't know. She is so, and then she like can get in character. Like I swear, my baby Dakota Thomas. I'm telling y'all now, on this day, is March 20th, 2023. My baby gonna be an actress, or she gonna definitely be up there doing something in that field. Cause
y'all heard it here
first on the channel.
Exclusive.
Period. Early.
You just gave Here If You Need Me podcast an exclusive because when we pull this up, you know this gonna be here forever.
For sure. You know
what I mean?
But she is so amazing. She has such a great personality, and sometimes I try to, like, as a mom, like, oh, don't talk too loud, or oh, don't do this. And you know what? I start laying back and being like, no, be yourself, be who you are, and I don't want you to feel like you can't speak up, because no, you are away for a reason. And she's so inspiring. She'll be like, Mommy, do you want a massage? Back will be hurting, feet will be hurting, standing up and all day, back hunched up. She is so inspiring, and she's such a good daughter. She have her moments where she gets smart for sure, but
Mm-hmm.
she's so inspiring. And it's just like I want to show her and be this person that she see, because she'll be literally at her school and she'll be like, my mommy is royalty nail spot and she got a salon and we is rich,
Right.
period. And I'm like, girl, you don't even know I've been fighting to pay this bill or this and that. And I'm just like, I got to show up and show out for her.
For sure.
But I think
That's big.
one of the most important parts is you got to show up and show out for yourself too, because you can only pour into other people's cup how much you've poured into yourself. And I think that's really important. And I missed that when we were talking about something else, but I did want to come back to that. You got to fill your cup up for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's one. You know, I've been so and when we doing interviews, right? I like to bounce off between feel like interview, feel like a podcast, but I'm always gonna get a spotlight back to who it's supposed to shine on, you know. But like, that's one of the things that made me scale back, and I spend a lot of time in solitude, like alone or like just dolo thinking. Not saying on some see me sad emo shit. Like I would call myself what we call ourselves introverted extrovert. Because when I'm around, you couldn't tell that I'm an introvert. But it's like I choose dolo time, and you know what I'm saying. And a lot of that time, you know, it helped me realize just a lot of what you were saying, like, you know who I am, what I want, what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like where I'm trying to go. And oftentimes it calls for that, and I might even be off, but we still into the situation. So let's talk about and when I brought up accountability, right? I wanted to speak to character, and so what's some of your three most important characteristics for being an owner and being a leader. So, you know, or yeah, let's stay there, owner and leader first, and then we're gonna go to as a person, your top one as a person.
I'm not gonna say words because I can't. I don't know. I'm having like a brain fart or something. I don't know, but
Cause like for me, in everyday life, my three biggest characteristics for me is patience, the practice. Because it's like you don't just wake up and be a patient person every day. Like you restart every day.
For sure.
Like some shit, you could wake up and be a college graduate after you graduate every day. But you don't wake up patient every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But these are my three biggest things to work out if I had to name them. Patience, honesty, and will. They're my three biggest things that I try to wake up and focus on every day. If I got patience, I'm in good shape.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, at least I was honest. And if I got will, I'm going to be great. So these are my three biggest characteristics. If you don't have words, that's fine, but just...
I got like phrases, I think.
Okay.
You said as me as a leader, or what I'm like looking for?
Just as a leader, just things that you carry with you, tools in your toolbox. When you got this going to help you be a better leader. These are three things for sure you're going to keep with you on the way to leadership. You know what I mean?
I think first and foremost, being teachable. I feel like that's so important because I've had humility moments in my career or my life where it's like, Deja, humble yourself, which I've always felt like I've been a very humble person, but I do feel like there's high points when I'm like, oh, baby, you better knock it down a few notches because, you can get humbled and not have it tomorrow. And I feel like having that humility is really important. And another slogan that I like to think about all the time is faith without works is dead. You can't get what you want if you ain't working for it, baby.
For sure. That's a fact.
For sure. And I feel like I just actually had a team meeting with my salon team yesterday. And one of the things that I pointed out to them is, for one, being teachable, but being able to take from your leader. Like, too often we have somebody that's higher than us or doing what we want to do, and we don't ask questions or we don't open up to them. why not be a leech? That's the
Right.
moment to be a leech
Right.
to something good.
For
You know
sure.
what I'm
For
saying?
sure. Or be a scholar.
Yeah, for sure.
Turn
And I
into
feel
a
like
scholar,
that's
yeah.
like knocked down. Like, oh, don't be a teacher's pet, baby. Be a teacher's pet when you about to flip your life and get some more money. Feel me? Like, I just feel like it's times, and I feel like every situation that I'm in, I keep like struggling with that, or struggling to have people see that. Like,
Yeah.
clearly I'm where I am because I'm disciplined. You can't get to higher levels without being disciplined in some sort of fashion. Being on time, waking up. You can't just, like, for example, at my school, my cosmetology school I go to, you have to be there at 9 or before 9. You could be there between 8:30 and 9. If you get there at 9:01, you got to go. Clock back out, baby. You got to go home for the day. Like, they don't play that.
You know that. Cause I'll share this. I always like to share little stuff about the behind the scenes. So I asked her. I ended up, cause y'all know I told y'all before I work. I'll be driving trucks and shit. So I'm late, running late back. I'm like, damn, I gotta get back here at 6. I'm knowing this shit, and I'm in my mind like she's so militant. I don't even, I don't even want to ask her, like, you know what I'm saying. But I've been on some militant time with my shit too. And me being the boss of my own, you can understand it coming from another one, because you could work and be a boss too at the same time. It's working fine. And so I said, damn, and I hit her like, yeah, can we do 6:30?
With the smooth talk.
On the text, she like, no, but she said, I said, or if not, I could just hurry up. She was like, hurry up because I'm hungry and I got.
Gotta get home and cook dinner. You feel me?
For sure, you know what I'm saying. So that's what's up, man, and that's just a testament from mine, the testimony of mine to her character and how she coming about that. But it's also an admirable trait, you know what I'm saying. So if you got friends and people around you that got admirable traits, you know what I'm saying, try to learn something, pick it up. It ain't that you trying to beat them or you trying to, take they steeds or however they coming. It's just more so about like, what can I implement in my game. You see something, even Kobe did it. You know what I'm saying? You see Kobe and GP tell a story about when they was at the All-Star game and he came to like, OG, man, how you be doing that? It was something he was doing defensively, and he was just really on it to learn it. And GP taught him, and that next season he ended up being like, what was it, like on the first team? Yeah, so some crazy like that. So it's just learning from people, man. Even though Kobe went on to be great and whatever his story was, is it's the fact that he wasn't too arrogant to learn, or too to learn. Like, pick it up if it's right there in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So
For sure.
I think that's a good piece of advice. So let's just talk about a little bit to go back about your initial investment in the company. Do you want to share? Would you mind sharing your initial investment, a ballpark? Just because I like to give people that story from somebody who really flipped something to let them know how real it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you took this, you might have took 100 and you turned that shit into 100,000. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give them your story, if you mind sharing, like your initial investment, and did you use credit? Did you, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people start with credit, which is great. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Align yourself with credit. And, it's just like anything. If you able to get it, credit is not about, I don't want to pay money to get it. You can have the best thing to do is get it when you have the money for it with credit. Just because if anything goes wrong, at least, well, fuck it, I can pay for it. Or if I want to do it, pay a month early, I already had it when I even tried to get it. So fuck it, I'm about to just pay for it or pay a month ahead on it because I already got it, but I'm just going to use this with credit. It's about a deficit. You understand the deficit. But, your initial investment. Let's talk about it.
I had a thought in my mind, and I can't think of it now, so I'm gonna circle back to it. But I feel like first, in a sense, because like I said, I'm not a pen and pad type of person, but there needs to be a plan. Okay, I'm about to spend this amount of money, but how you gonna get it back? Because it's always about getting it back.
For sure. And we was gonna talk about the return after
on the investment,
the initial
for sure.
investment.
And I feel like this is what I was trying to say, y'all. Just circling back on my experience over these past almost 3 years, I feel like some people kind of sugarcoat it. Like, oh yeah, I got it, or my man did this, or I ain't had no dude, I ain't had no sugar daddy, I wasn't tricking. But if somebody on this episode and they want to, no, I'm just like,
do what you gotta do,
do what
baby.
you gotta do, baby. Bills is due. But no, for real. And I can honestly say I'm really proud of myself for that. Like, I didn't have a handout, honestly, to help me. It was really like, I got it out the mud, big meat
For sure,
type energy.
Turned up.
For sure. But, initially, to be honest, I'm not a numbers type of person. Well, I am, but like that's my. I don't like seeing stuff that like make me sad. Spending money make me sad. Actually, I really like spending money, but I hate seeing it come out of my account type of thing. But to be honest, my initial first investment, like I knew for sure I spent on my salon and reforming it and renovating it was 20 bands for sure.
20 bands.
20 bands, and
put that in there.
For sure. Part of that was equipment. Like I got real live pedicure chairs, not a water basin or like a chair and a bowl. I got real live pedicure chairs, and them alone, I got a bundle package. So it was the chairs, the manicure tables, and that was, I can't even think. I think it was like 12. I don't even think it was that much. I think it was like $7,000 for that, just that part alone. Mm-hmm. Then I had somebody come in and rip out the carpet that I had in there and put it new flooring. That was like 4 bands. We already talking about 11,000.
You had a vision.
Then I had a painter come in, paint the basement, all new floors, paint the walls. I wanted a silver wall for my nail polish rack. That was like $2,500
for sure.
Then I had to do plumbing. Of course, when you're doing pedicure chairs and water and stuff, you need plumbing. So all that cost me about $20,000.
How you feeling during this? When you putting this bread into this shit? Let me go back. I want to talk about your confidence. I admire it. One thing, you sure about yourself. And even if you ain't sure, you ain't gonna let nobody else know you ain't.
For sure. Somebody just told me that, well, not in layman terms, but they kind of said something similar, and I ain't even. It's funny to like. Sometimes, people see yourself how you see yourself, but then to hear somebody else talk about it, it just be funny to me sometimes. Like, oh, I ain't even know, or sometimes it'd be hard for me to explain what I'm trying to say, and then somebody else to take the words out of my mouth type thing.
Yeah, for sure, and that's good. That's why we all need people in the world, right? We need each other. Even if you don't need them for this or that, we need people, man. Just for things, just small things like that. She might not need a motherfucker for nothing, but just to. Oh damn! It feel good.
I see you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and that's what's up. So let's talk about we were speaking about the confidence. I had to beeline to the confidence, but as you spending this money, you know what I'm saying, like how you feeling, like motherfucker might be scared to death. Like damn, I'm $5 here, like damn $5 here, because I know if I even spend like $2, I'll be thinking about what I could have did with that.
No, for real. To be honest. First of all, this was my dream. Like, since I was a little girl, I always wanted to have my own salon. I'm not going to lie. It's not the salon that I dreamed of. Not saying that I'm not proud of myself. And one thing I'll say, I'm always like, I feel like, oh, okay, that's nice. Clap, clap, clap. Next, Deja, don't celebrate too much, which can definitely be like a bad thing. Because I feel like too often we don't like celebrate our wins.
Yeah.
And I feel like we should, but I find it hard. That's one of my traits that I'm kind of working on for myself. And this year, like celebrating myself and like in a nice amount of time, not just clapping myself on the back for that day and moving along type thing. How I was feeling when I was spending that money to be honest, before I got my salon, I was teaching, we ain't even touched on this yet, but yeah. I'm a licensed nail instructor, so I teach nail courses. I'm glad that you went ahead
and made that beeline. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I'm a licensed nail instructor. So I'm licensed to teach classes, and I don't have to be at a school. Excuse me, I actually do it at my salon. The class is $650. You get it's 5 hours. You get food. You actually practice on the live model. Like most of the times people practicing on mannequins. We're not here for the fake stuff. We here for the real stuff. Like I want to make sure you're not cutting nobody cuticles or you're not actually over clipping nobody nails. So I have you practicing on a live model. And that's $650 a class. And I also teach that's for 18 and up. And then from 10 years old to 17 years old, it's only $550. A nice investment. And you get a whole kit. You get to do like 10 acrylic sets or more with it.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a pedicure class. I love doing pedicures and like toe restorations, restoring
Uh-huh.
your toe, building you a toe, something you
Yeah.
ain't had before. Like I like
So
that type of stuff.
so that is that your favorite part about it? And y'all hear that? As she's breaking down these prices, get with her. You know what I'm saying? Of course, at the end, we're going to make sure y'all get her social media, and if you want to give her email, whatever type of contact information. But your favorite part about, doing, so you say you love the pedicure parts of it. So
Mm-hmm.
explain to the people the difference between a pedicure and a manicure. It's basic stuff. Everybody might not know that. It might be a young boy somewhere watching me. He 10 years old, and he don't know nothing about a manicure and a pedicure. So, or a young little chick who might not have a mother who wants some type polished time like that. Like, so what's the
Yeah.
difference between a manicure and a pedicure?
First of all, I want to say it's very sexy for a man to have his nails manicured.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a manicure is when we do the nails and get the nails right. It's not artificial nails, so it's not an enhancement. It's just enhancing what's already there, your natural nails. So cutting them down, getting the dirt underneath them. And some men like to finish with like a clear top coat, make it look real polished, or like a buff shine
Right.
to make it look shiny. But cleaning them nails up, making them soften them up a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
getting that work in. And the
Okay.
pedicure is with the feet, petty feet.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. And that's with a massage on the feet, getting the dead skin off the feet, and cutting down the toenails type thing. That's what time we on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the activity that go on in the spa and the salon, and you say it's a salon/lounge. So let's talk about the activity with some of the events or stuff that you've been holding. What's been going on there?
I feel like one